In advance of today's big Four Nations Championship hockey game between the U.S. and Canada, Donald Trump had come out and tweeted, "I'll be calling our great American hockey team this morning to spur them on toward victory tonight against Canada, which with far lower taxes and much stronger security will someday, maybe soon, become our cherished and very important 51st state. I will be speaking before the governors tonight in D.C. and will sadly therefore be unable to attend, but we will be watching, and if Governor Trudeau would like to join us, he will be most welcome. Good luck to everybody and have a great game tonight. So exciting, President Donald J. Trump." And then at the press briefing today, Caroline Leavitt was asked about it and used the opportunity to further push this "we're gonna own Canada" narrative.
Does President Trump have a bet with Trudeau about this USA-Canada hockey game tonight? And when there is a big hockey game on, is the president watching for the goals or for the fights?
Probably both. I think he's watching for the United States to win tonight. I know he talked to the USA hockey team this morning. He talked to the players after their morning practice around 10 o'clock. And I also spoke to some folks from that team after. They were jubilant over President Trump's comments to the team. I believe they're going to put out a video of that call. So he looks forward to watching the game tonight, and we look forward to the United States beating our soon-to-be 51st state, Canada.
And after all of that chest beating, Canada ended up defeating the United States 3-2, leading to Justin Trudeau taking to Twitter, writing, "You can't take our country and you can't take our game." And that's not even the worst part. Technically, Canada now owns the United States, and Trump becomes the premier of the 11th province. Congratulations to Canada. This is the equivalent of winning a box of faulty C4 that is also on fire. Honestly, acquiring the United States right now is like going to adopt a puppy and coming back with a nest of full-grown Komodo dragons. But anyway, enjoy. Hope you don't need health care. Of course, Trump won't accept the fact that he predicted a win and instead was dealt a loss, and so he'll cast the blame somewhere else. My guess is DEI, but it could also be Joe Biden, the Democrats, Hillary Clinton, George Soros, California, migrant caravans, Starbucks Christmas cups, Anthony Fauci, Hunter Biden, Liz Cheney, Jews, Muslims, trans swimmers, public schools, pronouns, the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, or any black person. But, I mean, probably DEI. And finally, one more point on the Canada thing. How does Trump think a country that has socialized medicine is going to vote if they become part of the U.S.? A country that currently has a liberal prime minister. We don't even have to guess, because Canada was polled. If they were a U.S. state in November of 2024, nearly 2/3 of Canadians, or 64%, have told pollsters that they would have voted for Kamala Harris, while just 21% said they would have supported Donald Trump. In other words, Canada is bluer than California. It would add another 55 electoral votes for the Democrats. So look, I happen to be against the forceful annexation of a sovereign country, but if we're gonna do it, the immediate consequence is that Republicans would have quite a bit of trouble winning a federal election anytime soon. And look, with all of that said, are Trump's promises to annex Canada important? No. In fact, that's the point. This is purposefully distracting to give Trump cover to execute his far more dangerous plans of gutting the federal government and illegally installing his lackeys and sycophants across every agency and every department. These are moves that have already faced backlash at the hands of federal judges and have even become a cause for consternation among Republican voters who are lashing out. For example, here's Republican Representative Rich McCormick of Georgia during his town hall just today. And keep in mind when you watch this video that this is a district Trump won by 22 points.
You can go and yell all you want, but I can't understand 10 people, let alone 100 people.
It's the budget, not the president. And you are doing us a disservice to set that down and not stand up for us. And
So we're going to have a town hall, and I'm going to come and stand in front of you and take your questions and try to answer them as honestly as I can. Then let's do that, okay? But if you're going to just yell at me, that's not going to be an effective town hall.
Does this look like a group of people who are satisfied that Donald Trump allowed Elon Musk and his band of teenagers to gut USAID and the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau and the Department of Education? Does this look like a group of people who are satisfied that Trump has handed off access to all of our personal data at the U.S. Treasury, at the IRS, at the Social Security Administration to Elon Musk? Does this look like a group of people who support congressional Republicans refusing to act as a co-equal branch of government and have instead contracted every ounce of their autonomy over to Trump because they're just that chicken shit when it comes to standing up to the God King? The answer is clearly no, and that is why Trump is so hellbent on waving the shiny issue of Canada in front of everybody's faces. It's not going to happen, and he knows that, but he also knows that people will bite, and that they'll be distracted by it, and that it'll take up oxygen so that we don't talk about the far less popular things that he's doing by gutting the rest of the federal government, including Medicaid and Social Security and education and veterans programs and cancer research and airline safety workers and on and on. Now do you see why he's so desperate to wave the Canada thing in all of our faces? And let's be clear, the American people understand full well what Trump and Elon are doing, and they don't like it. Trump's approval rating has just flipped from net positive to net negative, all within the first month of his administration. As far as honeymoons go, this is the equivalent of getting into your first fight on the way to the airport. Trump wouldn't have to blather on about Canada if his agenda was popular, but because it's not, well, Governor Trudeau it is. All the while Trump engages in the least popular agenda in modern American history, take a look at the ways in which the Democrats are actually fighting to protect regular Americans just this evening.
The Republicans are pushing forward tonight a bill that is trying to gut massive spending for Medicare, Medicaid, and SNAP benefits, food for vulnerable Americans. So I put forward an amendment that would say, hands off, stop your tax on school meals for kids. We have over 15 million kids in America that get school meals. Over 370,000 American kids in New Jersey got school meals last year. This is something that's just trying to help the most vulnerable, help our kids to be able to make sure they're not hungry at school. So I'm going to continue to push this amendment and continue to fight back against the Republican effort to gut all of these incredibly important programs to be able to give billions of dollars of tax cuts and breaks to billionaires and the biggest corporations.
So look, I get that Trump made a lot of sweeping promises during the campaign, but let's be clear. Now that he's got everybody's votes, he has zero intention of following through on any of it. His priority, just like his first term in office, will be giveaways to the wealthiest Americans. It'll be tax cuts for the richest among us, paid for by cutting healthcare and education and disaster relief and veterans programs. Do not be distracted and don't stop paying attention. Before you go, just a quick note, if you'd like to see more of my content, which is always free of advertising, sponsorships, and paywalls, please make sure to subscribe to this channel using the subscribe button right here on the screen. And if you'd like to support my work even further, you can grab a copy of my instant #1 New York Times selling book, Shameless, available for sale right now. That link is also on the screen. Thanks so much for watching.